Tashkent is the capital and largest city of Uzbekistan, as well as the most populous city in Central Asia, with a population in 2018 of 2,485,900. It is in northeastern Uzbekistan, near the border with Kazakhstan. Before Islamic influence started in the mid-8th century AD, Tashkent was influenced by the Sogdian and Turkic cultures. After Genghis Khan destroyed it in 1219, it was rebuilt and profited from the Silk Road. From the 18th to the 19th century, the city became an independent city-state, before being reconquered by the Khanate of Kokand. In 1865, Tashkent fell to the Russian Empire, and became the capital of Russian Turkestan. In Soviet times, it witnessed major growth and demographic changes due to forced deportations from throughout the Soviet Union. Much of Tashkent was destroyed in the 1966 Tashkent earthquake, but it was rebuilt as a model Soviet city. It was the fourth largest city in the Soviet Union at the time, after Moscow, Leningrad and Kiev. Today, as the capital of an independent Uzbekistan, Tashkent retains a multi-ethnic population, with ethnic Uzbeks as the majority. In 2009, it celebrated its 2,200 years of written history. During its long history, Tashkent has had various changes in names and political and religious affiliations. Abu Rayhan Biruni wrote that the city of Shush comes from the Turkic name Tash, outer, Kant, town, that is, outer town. Tashkent was founded 2,200 years ago. Tashkent was settled by ancient people as an oasis on the Chirchak River, near the foothills of the West Tian Shan Mountains. In ancient times, this area contained Batian, probably the summer capital of the Kangju Confederacy. Some scholars believe that a stone tower, mentioned by Ptolemy and by other early accounts of travel on the Silk Road, referred to this settlement. This tower is said to have marked the midway point between Europe and China. Other scholars, however, disagree with this identification, though it remains one of four most probable sites for the stone tower. In pre-Islamic and early Islamic times, the town and the province were known as Chach. The Shahnameh of Fadausi also refers to the city as Chach. The Principality of Chach had a square citadel built around the 5th to 3rd centuries BC. Some 8 kilometers. The Chinese chronicles history of northern dynasties. Book of Sui and Old Book of Tang mention a possession called Shishi or Zheshi Jishi with a capital of the same name. Since the 5th century AD, in 558 to 603, Chach was part of the Turkic Khaganate. At the beginning of the 7th century, the Turkic Khaganate, as a result of internecine wars and wars with its neighbors, disintegrated into the western and eastern Khaganates. The western Turkic ruler Tong Yabghu Khan set up his headquarters in the Ming Bulak area to the north of Chach. Here he received embassies from the emperors of the Tang Empire and Byzantium. In 626, the Indian preacher Prabhakaramitra arrived with 10 companions to the Khagan. In 628, a Buddhist Chinese monk Shanzang arrived in Ming Bulak. The Turkic rulers of Chach minted their coins with the inscription on the obverse side of the Lord of the Khakan money, Etegeng sovereign. Tashkent was conquered by the Arabs at the beginning of the 8th century, according to the descriptions of the authors of the X century. Shush was structurally divided into a citadel, an inner city. The citadel, surrounded by a special wall with 2 gates, contained the ruler's palace and the prison. Under the Samanid Empire, Abu Bakr Muhammad ibn Ali ash-Shashi, known as Al-Kafal ash-Shashi, was born in Tashkent, an Islamic theologian, scholar, jurist of the Shafi'i madhab, hadith scholar and linguist. After the 11th century, the name evolved from Tashkent to Tashkent. The modern spelling of Tashkent reflects Russian orthography and 20th century Soviet influence. At the end of the 10th century, Tashkent became part of the possessions of the Turkic state of the Karakhanids. In 998-99, the Tashkent oasis went to the Karakhanid Ahmad ibn Ali, who ruled the northeastern regions of Mavarana. In 1177-78, a separate Khanate was formed in the Tashkent oasis. Its center was Banikat. where dirhams Maiz ad-Dunya Wadi Din Kilij Khan were minted. In 1195 to 1197 Jalal ad-Dunya Wadi Din Tafghaj Khakan. In 1197 to 1206 Ahmad ad-Dunya Wadi Din Ulfagdish Chagri Khan. The city was destroyed by Genghis Khan in 1219 and lost much of its population as a result of the Mongols' destruction of the Khwarezmid Empire in 1220. Under the Timurid and subsequent Shaybanid dynasties, the city's population and culture gradually revived as a prominent strategic center of scholarship, commerce and trade along the Silk Road. During the reign of Amir Timur, Tashkent was restored, and in the 14th-15th centuries Tashkent was part of Timur's empire. For Timur, Tashkent was considered a strategic city. In 1391 Timur set out in the spring from Tashkent to Dasht-i Kipchak to fight the Khan of the Go.